Hello, this is Firebreather238 coming back. Yep, and as you see by the title and by the thumbnail, I am doing a What If Deku Had a Clone Army as its Quirk, Part 1 redoing. Yes, I'm redoing the whole thing because really the first one sounded like crap. No fun. Well, actually, I'm very offended myself anyway, so let's just start. So, in this version of himself, that Izuku would have to be born with the Clone Army Quirk. Basically, he was like, basically Star Wars and My Hero is not in the same universe, but except it's kind of like Star Wars. It kind of been disappeared from existence. It got put into My Hero in the form of a quirk, or in some occasion, its own standard army. I'm not sure how it's going to like this, but anyway. So we're gonna say so. Instead, in this version, Izuku is the son of All Might, and Inko is a pro hero. He does have a twin sister. Now Prince, because of this, so both Zuko and Sith will have pretty much the same identical quirk. No, not the same identical. I say same universal quirks. So they both have Star Wars quirks, and they both got armies. Basically, I'm gonna make a little a battle between siblings where Izuku had the power of the clone army, while his sister would have the droid army. Yes, I'm putting Izuku's sister will have the power of the droid army, and now, the nature between the two will not. Well, I'm gonna make them somewhat have a rivalry. Then it'll turn into a full-blood war. Anyway, so and that's what I'm gonna probably do. I'm gonna probably do one shot anyway. So basically, everything mostly plays out. So pretty much like Izuku and Izumi are friends with both the Bakugos, with basically um Kazuki and Kasumi. Yes, there's a female Bakugo and female Turbo going to come into this. Female Shoto Shoto and Shoto. I'm just gonna say Sakura because really that's the only thing I'm close to it. He's also a friend with Oraka, Ida, and Momo. Yes, somehow yes. Anyway, so they're friends, and when they get to when they turn the age of 4, Izuku and Izumi, along with Inko, go to the quirk doctor to see what is their quirks. And Izumi was the first to go up, and they said to her, and they said like doctor said "Wow, ma'am, it seems your daughter Izumi has a pretty powerful quirk. It's a similar to a summoning type quirk. Basically, it allows her to summon, and build the army of seems like robot battle droids, uncommon battle droids. Because I can't think of anything other than that. I can't say it's Synthetica, it's not Fallout. I'm probably gonna make that one now. Damn. Anyway, so after this, like Inko and basically Sumi is like society, and like once they test to Izuku, they set the result back saying, "Ma'am, it seems that your son seems to have a powerful quirk as well. What's weird about it, the fact it's similarities to Izumi's quirk, but it seems like instead of battle droids he can summon, he has the power to build, and command the army of soldiers, human. And there's also something else. It seems like Izuku's quirk and Izumi's quirk kind of conflict with each other. It seems like when we try to test them out, they did test them out, see what's happened. So Izuku summoned a clone trooper and Izumi summoned a battle droid. Immediately after summon, they start shooting at each other, literally, and literally Izuku and Izumi didn't know how to control the quirk at the time, so they end up watching the droid and clone kill each other, and basically that's what happened. So basically, the doctor's saying that it seems like somehow we did look at what these are, and it turns out they're actually the clone army and the droid army of the Star Wars universe. Everything about them matches the same. So it seems like they're both kind of had no problem with each other. It seems like their powers do. So either had to go to set. They can both become heroes. The problem is the fact they have to be is they would have to either be as far away from each other as possible, with basically saying that either Izuku or Izumi had to move away from each other to make sure the Quirk don't try to kill each other. And that option, or yeah, basically that's the other option. You take them somewhere else to bring them far away from the other, basically. So basically, the Quirk won't affect their mind, so that should be fine. Anyway, so after the Quirk doctor told them, and they went home, like Inko told Toshi, aka All Might, told them the results, and it's actually shocking that both his stepson and daughter had the ability to summon command armies, but they kind of have a conflict problem, and they can't. And really, the Zugu and Zumi can't change the conflict between the clones and the droids. So basically, it's really kind of Izuku is basically, of course, Izuku is a hero type Quirk, while Izumi is a villain type. Where basically, it don't really count that along with the user don't say. So, um, basically, what Izuku and Izumi is trying to do is trying to like create. The first thing they like, Toshi decides to like have Izuku be somewhere, like have Izuku be somewhere else. Like not immediately, of course. Like they mostly Izuku and Izumi's life been this pretty interesting. Like everybody know about the quirks, and like oh yeah, I forgot one of the other side effects with the quirk. So it's not that the clone armies and droid are trying to, it also attack the person who summoned them. So or the opposite summon. So like if a clone soldier was summoned and a droid wasn't, the clones immediately started trying to attack Izumi because she's really to them, she's I say droid commander or droid general or something like that. And basically the same thing if Izumi summoned a droid and go after Izuku, basically the same thing for each side. So there's that problem. So once the so at the like for the past 2 years they've been really like they've been training to try and figure out how to use the quirk, and it'll try to figure out if there's a way to actually remove the conflict, but there ain't no way to remove the conflict. So they're trying to just divert the training to able to wear armor, put blaster, etc., etc. And then at the like I said, the age of 12, age of 6, my bad, age of 6. At the age of 6, All Might got in contact with Azawa and Nezu, Principal Nezu and Erase, of course. So they told us the ways of. So he did told them about Izuku and Izumi's quirks and the conflict problem between the two. And near the kids can't control or they can't alter the conflict. So it basically stuck there. So after that, Azawa and Prison Nezu end up just taking Izuku with them. So like he wasn't abandoned or kicked out, he was just given to them. So basically Izuku basically after that, like for the past rest of the years, Izuku had been getting trained by both with since he was kind of more farther away from Izumi, the clones won't try to look for her. So like they will like the only reason they'll attack is when they're close proximity to them. So like if you're like basically you're in their range radius, then yeah. Sorry. Anyway, so after that, so like there's still Azawa also training Deku to be able to fight with pretty much everything else. So and they actually got him pretty much good far. So like Izumi and Izuku both got power land as far away from each other. So like I was gonna say this. So Izumi was able to have part of Nama's island to create her base, while Izuku has his base near the base forward, near the training arc. Yeah, that one. So it's pretty good far away. And Izuku basically And I keep saying that. Anyway, so for the past couple of years, Izuku and Izumi's course were getting bigger, getting stronger. So like they have like they both summon at least a few soldiers for their own. Like Izuku's able to summon a few soldiers to maintain the base they have and manufacture stuff. While Izuku did the same thing on Nama's Island, well, a little bit more faster than Izuku is. So right now it's like they both have a couple of gunships, but Izumi has more, and they actually have more landing, like able to transport ground infantry to like other lands, so etc. So and Izumi personality actually started to change because of her power, because of her quirk. So she'll end up becoming like she'll really become like a slowly become villain, but not entirely. Like it's more like imagine a joint army at the Empire, basically like that. Basically that's what Izumi gonna be transforming into. Um, and like she started growing her own army on Earth, and she knows that one way or another, the people find out she's really growing an army, but she wants to make sure no one knows about it yet. So she had a few of her droids to like leave the planet and able to like try to expand outside Earth and hold the ground a bigger army through space. Then for and then during the past, then Ezekiel, of course, will be doing the exact same thing, except both doing a clone facility underground and also try to get more ships outside systems like just banned for their own. Anyway, so that been happening for a couple of years now. So like, we're just gonna skip all the way to when they're both at the age of 15. No, we're gonna say 16. 16 sounds old, make it sound better and older. Anyway, so Izuku will then Izuku will not go to UA due to Izuku's quirk. So, and also she's also trying to turn evil. So, like, see, at this point, she's like 50% evil, sort of. So, she'll be fine. So, Izuku basically gets trained and have more match effort over like 75% match with his power. So, at this point, Izuku go like some people want him to go to UA like with like gradations, but except he didn't. He wanted to try to earn his way. So he actually equipped himself with some. Hang on a minute. Okay, I'm back. So this is going to be the armor of what Izuku will wear. This will be his hero suit, will also be his primary armor. He'll wear it during during combat missions and also during other times. Basically, it's gonna be just a hero costume, basically. And Izuku will basically be with him. Like Izuku will be there. Also, he'll have like say 4 501st clone troopers. He'll have them with them. And I'm not gonna play one. I'm not gonna play anyone. Not legends yet. But basically him 4 his armor 4 of the 501st and basically and a few things. So so after that, Izuku basically is going. Izuku is already took the written test, aced it with like A plus something like that. Like his intelligence is higher. His intelligence also sarcasm is like matches. Now I'm gonna hate myself saying this. Matches to Nezu's. Yes, it matches his. So that's a nightmare. Anyway, so after that, Izuku will of course like he will print like he'll be fine. Anyway, so Izuku like after the Ren test is cleared up and ready, so Izuku end up like him and 4 soldiers are ready to go in, and of course Ida being the type he is, he tried like tap on Izuku, try to see who are you, what are you doing here, why are you holding these weapons, like did it prevent, like are you a villain or something like that, and Izuku said, "No, I am. This is actually what my quirk is. I can summon command my own army." And basically, I just shot Ida and everyone who basically heard what he said. A boy with the ability to command an army. Um, and um, and what the horn goes off, Izuku immediately runs in with his soldiers. Of course, everyone confused about this, and like President Maya is saying like, "What the hell? Like, what are you all doing? Why are you all just standing there? Like, there's no horn went during the attack. Follow that kid, his soldiers." Um, After that, Izuku basically and by the time when they start running in, they start seeing Izuku just shooting, Izuku and his clones shooting at porn robots. And of course, the teacher watching and he's actually impressed by Izuku because that he's mostly keeping soldiers kind of like able to split them up, try to get new points. Like each one, like two for each squad, except for Izuku, so he'll be alone. And you can actually summon any weapon from the clone army. So basically, a clone machine gun, any kind of gun you think of from Star Wars. So yeah. Anyway, so it got to the point where Nezu brought the zero pointer up, and it started going on a rampage to where Uraraka got pinned down by the rebel. So because Izuku was rushing back toward the exit when he saw Uraraka, and basically he told his soldiers to turn around and try to start. Like he told two of his soldiers to try to go help Uraraka get out of the rebel. The other two started shooting at the zero point, hoping to get his attention, and also Zuko, who decided to go bigger, he decided to bring in a AT&T, which basically shot almost every attendant except for the teachers who knew he had to do it. And just told to start firing at the zero pointers, really zero point legs, just to immobilize it enough to get everybody out of there. So, like, if one does zero one feed, like everybody after defeating the zero pointer, basically Izuku and basically after the Izuku's clones defeated the zero pointer. Basically, the exam was over, and basically, since Izuku living with, technically he's living in the base, but also the base is connected straight to UA. So pretty he's not that far. His base isn't that far from UA, so he's really like walking distance, or no, not walking distance. Like it's his base is at the Beast Forge. He missed a few other bases, and one of them was actually inside UA itself. So he has some brands there. So anyway, so Izuku basically after 2 weeks, like he actually the teachers already told him. The teacher basically just goes straight to him and tell like after he left, and like he's saying like he's already in UA as classified as top ace. And Izuku basically for the past, then also during those 2 weeks, Izuku also been keeping monitor of his sister because he wanted to know like what's happening with her really, because even if they are separated and kind of are enemies, they kind of still care about each other. So like Izuku he does keep monitor of her to see what she does to where she is. Right now Izumi has taken over at least most of Nama's island, multiple battle droids, and so also she has a couple of droids, like interceptors, bombers, and transporters, name it. She does have a few ships with her, like not the real, like little than more like a small, like one of those transports, like one of those I forgot what those transports called, but the joint transports, those. Anyway, so this actually worried Izuku. That if she's ruining this army this quickly and also getting this bad, he knows he needs to step up his game. So he ends up calling in all clones and he end up turning his base, expanding his base bigger to build like more weapons, like able to catch a because he knows like he does have a standard army with only his infantry. Like he only has infantry right now. While Zumi has infantry, air force, and space. So he's basically screwed if he doesn't give more. So he ends up like ordering for the mass production of everything. He summons more troops as well as transport, like ships, vehicles, transport ships, everything. So he ends up like he already has like someone like doing similar to his sister. Like, since his sister kind of making her own throwing her own empire in space, he's gonna try to get close to that same. So he's gonna try to build his own empire through it and try to have an empire like build itself. Anyway, so well, that's happening. Basically, everything is the clone army will basically build itself. Same for the droid. So, during the time, Izuku basically after that, like Izuku ends up still going to UA, and apparently, like he doesn't like he met. He met all the other ones. So he met the Bakugo, the Todoroki, everyone else. So he met them at UA and happy to see each other. But they're also disappointed that Izuku not gonna be there with them now because the him and because Izuku and her powers conflict each other. So after that, Azawa comes in, telling them they're gonna have a Quirk assessment test to see if they deserve to be in UA or not. Izuku really since Izuku doesn't really have a much real strength except for the fact that he gets trained from the heroes and his clones, so he does have a little more strength than even like even did give Izuku one for he can able to control like close to 75%. Anyway, after that, Izuku really is like around like the 10th, no, 8th, 9th, 10th, I think. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna put it. Anyway, so and also then everything really plays out until we get to the combat train, to where Izuku again still wearing the armor that I showed you earlier. You know what I'm talking about. And sorry about the cutout. Anyway, so continuing on with the combat train. Basically everything. Well, pretty much. It was gonna play the same thing, but since Izuku's Quirk and since Izuku and Izumi's Quirk is really more active now, and the fact that they're growing an army, and Izuku gonna try to help, so they end up switching the training around. Instead of doing one-on-one combat training, it's gonna be a command kind of structure training, kind of like how the command soldiers, kind of like Izuku does. So, even given like they'll be fighting each class, like half the class are going against each other, basically. Half will be tend to be clones. Half will be the hero. Will be the heroes and the clone troopers. While the other half of also clone troopers is going to be the droids. And basically, their orders should have stunned. So the villains, damn it, the villain teams were ordered to try to defeat the heroes in the army, while the hero side was ordered to try to win and capture the villains. It'll destroy the droids and also capture the villains. But if we say this just stun, both sides or the stun. After that, pretty like the training rate is just pretty good. It's like basically just regular like clone trooper combat kind of thing, like clone trooper clone trooper. The training regimen, the one we got from that one episode series. Anyway, so one episode. Anyway, so during the time, like Izuku really is like mostly, like I said, it's split in half. So like mostly like it's mixed between powerful and weak. So it's mixed. So pretty much trying to figure out the command. They also started forming a bond with some of the clones. Some like really some of them. Then during the time, like now Izuku does like with this apprentice from the heroes, he does have some spy within the villain society. So he has some of the clones hidden in plain sight as villains. So like they'll have like let's say the clones somewhat like say stole weapons from Izuku, but really they actually just use it as bait. So like, you don't know who got what. So they know about the League of Villains already. They know about the League of Villains. They know they're going to attack the USJ. So they're a little prepared for it. So they had troops hidden within the USJ. So anyway, so um, once and then we're gonna go straight. We're going straight to the USJ. So everybody's on the bus heading for the USJ. And basically talking. This is and some of the students talking to Zuko try to feel like asking about his quirk, and and all of a sudden does ask like the question like did you really have sister? He said yes, but the problem is the fact that we can't be with each other because the fact our quirks conflict each other, and since because it's more like a yin yang effect, so like we'll start our quirks will start trying to kill each other. So yeah, so that's why. Um. Then basically he's then of course again inside the USJ, everything goes there. So pretty like the leader don't show up. Basically Tomura, Kurogiri, the Namus, and a bunch of villains. But also some other undercover clones with them too. So once they land inside, Azawa of course and of course Izuku basically shows up in front of the steps, just laying down the villains with really just a smirking, like a little smirk on their faces. That's when the villains realized that they knew that they were coming, and that's when he looked at his own villains to see. Then that's when some the undercover clones just start open fire, aka stun, the all on surrounding villains, so they take them down easily. As more clones from around the USJ started swarming on and trying to start to stun. Azawa, of course, jumps in and tries to do what he can. Cause Gear, like, right now, Namu is pretty taking on most of the clones. Kurogiri is like actually knocked out by one of the clones, so there's no way to really escape unless he had to get someone else to get out of there. And basically, the heroes are having a really good chance. Like they really most of the majority of the villains are already captured by this point, and mostly everything is kind of going as planned, except for one unexpected arrival shows up. Izumi's droid army shows up, literally blowing a hole in the ceiling of the USJ, and droids start dropping in and start targeting all the clones and as well as the heroes. Really caught everybody off guard because they had no idea that Zumi was planning this. So the clone was sent had their weapons from stun to kill. They start targeting the droid army basically, and that's what we're gonna stop right now. So okay, yep. Part 2 will come out as soon as possible if I can.